Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Today I was a bit sleepy, I guess. So I was slow to kind of get going to stream. I don't normally stream Fridays, but I don't have to be up tomorrow. So I can stream late. And I was thinking I wanted to do some Dark Souls, but then I don't like starting a game like that's a kind of a primary game, if you know what I mean, that late as like 9 o'clock my time. I would rather start it like somewhere around 7, but also 8 is fine, or even 8:45 is nice enough. But I hadn't had dinner yet, so I had to make dinner. So yeah, and then I thought, well, I kind of want to stream, but I don't know. I could kind of do whatever. And so I was talking to people a lot the last couple days about D&D, about getting a campaign going, and them making their characters and stuff. And it's going to be in the Spelljammer setting. And I was thinking, like, I really should go through the books a little bit more, and I can kind of do that on stream, I guess. So, just kind of get some ideas, maybe jot down some stuff. And just kind of hang out, just kind of chill, listen to some tunes, tuning it in. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right, so the plan is that it's going to be very Star Trek-like, and also because scheduling is tough. So I'm planning on every single session to kind of basically be a one-off. So it's like you just kind of finish the one session, and that'll be the end of that one. Like, hopefully, just kind of get a beginning, middle, and end of an event of a scenario, kind of wrapped up, and then move on to another place, another thing. Because we're actually gonna have like 8 players, which is very unusual for one of my campaigns. So I've got thinking, what should I go through? I've got Boo's Astral Menagerie, which is all of the monsters that they designed for the Spelljammer setting. And I will it's gonna be going through this. I'll probably bring up some pictures and look them up. Oh. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks to Hydrate. I don't even have... Probably bring that up. Love this song, man. It feels like summer fireworks to me. Well, it's not... It's neither the D&D campaign nor dreaded. It is a D&D campaign that I'm going to be playing with friends locally. I will not be streaming it. Browser. That's it. Alerts. Alerts is here. How you doing, dude? Typical Austria stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna be going through the monsters in the Spelljammer setting here. Firstly, it's important, the disclaimer in the beginning of the book. Disclaimer, squeak squeak. Translation, you're on Boo's turf now, world hugger. Unless you want a hamster knuckle sandwich, you'd better watch where you're spell jamming. And before you blow up a nautiloid, make sure there are no space hamsters aboard it. Otherwise, prepare to face the wrath of Boo. Ooh. Getting messed up by Austria, huh? So Boo is a space hamster, an intelligent space hamster. Descartes, fellow adventurer. No, that's like more Canadian. Minsk is like a Russian accent. Descartes, fellow. Russian accent. Space hamsters, yes. You ate one. They are intelligent. Probably smarter than you. A miniature giant space hamster was a snack for the campfire. You killed a person. You just killed a man and ate him. Found it in a bag. Gross. That's gross. Unbelievable. Part of the camp supplies. Should have given him a burial. The nerve. The nerve of this man. Hello, I am Minsk. I am Descartes, fellow adventurer. For you have curried the favor of Boo. Squeak. Boo. Alright, so looking at astral variants. If you ever want more creatures to populate your adventures in space, look no further than the monster manual. Wow. Yeah, space hamsters are you know what? Do we want to show you space hamsters like right now? The first thing we go into? Okay, I'll go into astral variants first apparently. Entities of the outer planes such as angels, devils, and Slatai are just as likely to be found on the astral plane as they are on any material world. So, not very. The same can be said for aboleths, giants, mind flayers, umber hulks, vampires, and other monster manual creatures. Practically any terrestrial creature can be turned into an astral dwelling creature, whether it requires air or not. Yeah, genitalia phys. Okay. For example, a stone giant living on an asteroid might rely on the asteroid's air envelope for survival, or it might not need to breathe air. Similarly, a mimic stowed away aboard a spelljamming ship might be an ordinary specimen, or just that has one that has adapted to life in Lyon space. Update was 30 gigabytes. Wow. So anyway, I will go ahead and enlighten you as to the heck. There's some interesting things here. All right. Oh wow. I'm gonna look up space hamster for visual reference. You know, I just realized that's Jeff, Peanut Butter Gamer's friend, is Space Hamster. I just remember that. It's been a long time. All right. hold on a second. Okay, almost. All right. This is a space hamster. A giant space hamster. You got a halfling there for reference. He is twice her size. As is normal for space hamsters. So, take a look. Let's give it a little peek. Alright. Space hamsters. Space hamsters resemble their terrestrial kin both in their appearance and general demeanor, and they come in a variety of colors. You ate the regular hamster-sized giant space hamster. Yeah, we'll get to that. Giant space hamster. Giant space hamsters are cute, plant-eating rodents as big as brown bears. They tend to avoid other creatures, especially threatening ones, but they can be trained to serve as mounts and beasts of burden. Gnomes have tried to build spelljamming ships powered by giant space hamster wheels, so far without success. Yeah, okay. And so then there's Space Hamster. The first space hamsters were created by wizards who used magic to shrink giant space hamsters to wee size, leading their creators to refer to them as miniature giant space hamsters. The magic also made the space hamsters smarter and telepathic. These benign rodents are native to wild space, though countless numbers of them have found their way to worlds throughout the material plane, where they are known simply as hamsters. They keep their telepathic ability hidden from most other creatures they come near. Yeah. So you ate someone that had, well, 6 intelligence with telepathy. Like, not exactly like wow intelligence, but you know, eat one again. Somebody shoot this guy. Also, so yeah, kind of normal stuff as far as the yeah, normal stuff as far as in the stat block here. For the giant space hamster, speed 30 feet. Burrow speed 10 feet, which is interesting. Find it at a Mind Flare crash site. That checks out. Like, the warning at the beginning of this book said not to blow up any Mind Flare ships as long as if there are any hamsters aboard. Yeah, the giant space hamster, nothing crazy. It bites. Challenge rating at 1/4. The space hamster is the same, but slower. Because, you know, it's smaller. Same challenge rating. It has higher chance to hit, but it has far less damage. 1 piercing. You did blow it up? Well, I mean, if they were already dead, then you know what? So be it. At least it didn't get mind flared, you know. Now I'm just thinking of an illithid space hamster. You know, with the squid head. You're evil, You're shifting towards chaotic evil. I mean, you are remaining chaotic evil. So one funny thing, the interesting thing about the space hamster, it has an action called Go for the Eyes. +7 to hit. 1d6 plus 5 piercing damage, and target must succeed on a DC 15 Dex saving throw or be blinded until the start of the hamster's next turn. Wow. Dark Urge. Sleeping with the Githyanki chick. Alright. Do we start from the beginning of the book and look for the monsters, like with the kinds of monsters that are in here? Or do you want to go for a random page, or give me a letter and we'll see what we find? What's your preference? Start from the top? All right. Starting from A. Artuk. Interesting. If Yankee Girl's not evil, interesting. Well, I mean, just because someone's evil doesn't necessarily mean they would like a Dark Urge, but if she's not evil, that's interesting. I don't know her background. I'll figure it out. I will probably play the game someday, and we'll find out what's up with the Githyanki chick. Alright, we're gonna look up Artuk. Get an image for reference. Two A's. Artuk. Ooh. Interesting fellow. This guy. I'll scooch myself over a little bit here. It's a weird squiddly guy. Assuming all Gith are evil. That's, well, no, not all Gith. All Githyanki. And it's a safe assumption. Artuks are intelligent plant creatures that live to wage war. They woke up and chose violence. Beholders destroyed their original homeworld and scattered the survivors across the material plane. These survivors formed small nomadic cells. Artuk cells can be found throughout wild space, including aboard spelljamming ships whose former crews were either murdered or forcibly ejected by a band of Artuks. An Artuk's body is shaped like a 5-pointed star and is covered with thick, flexible bark. Tips of its branches, branch-like extremities, end in suction cups that allow the creature to climb on vertical surfaces and along ceilings. Each suction cup houses 3 retractable pseudopods that are used to manipulate small objects. The head of an Artuk surmounts a 6-foot tall stalk that can be extruded from the center of the star. So you can see it popping out there. Gross. Kind of makes you think of like the squid monster in Star Wars: A New Hope. How it's like the eyeball kind of popped up. This actually reminded me of that a good bit. Yeah, the head contains the Artuk's sensory organs, including a long tongue that the creature uses as a weapon. This is an Artuk. It's a space monster. An Artuk continues to grow throughout its long life. Artuk elders can be as large as 12 feet in diameter. An Artuk's preferred method of attack is to shoot forth its gooey tongue and use it to drag enemies toward the center of its body so that it can batter them with its powerful branches. It can also spit pellets of radiant energy, which kind of absorb sunbeams the more you're out in space, I guess. Space radiation. Artuks have no deities of their own, but certain groups have adopted various gods of war and vengeance, including Grumsh, Hextor, and Sargonas. The Artuk language is made up of rustling sounds, snaps, pops, and hisses. It has no written form. So this is the image specifically for an Artuk warrior, apparently. So we've got, yeah, the Artuk warrior, a priest, and an elder. They're all lawful evil. Yeah, I guess they are social, like they actually attack in groups. Oh, and apparently the elder, well, the elder and the priest have psionics and cast certain spells. All emotions, detect magic and sending. Wow. Yeah, they all have tongue attacks. Yeah, this weird, freaky alien guys. I love it. Next to the Astral Elves. I've actually read these. I've read this one before, so I think I will. I'll kind of skip over this one. Yeah, just elves in space. Oh, many astral elves are thousands, in some cases tens of thousands of years old. Whatever their disposition, their longevity gives astral elves a perspective on time that few other kinds of creatures can appreciate. I kind of think of them kind of like Vulcans, you know? Elves of space. So one thing about older editions of Spelljammer stuff was that so 5th edition keeps it so that you do not age if you're in the astral plane, which are like it's the realm between planes, you know? Eldari. But in older editions, they have it so that when you leave the astral plane, you age up all the years that you miss. So if you enter the astral plane at age 20 and you stay there 90 years, you'll turn into a raisin as soon as you leave and go to a material plane. You will instantly become an old man. And I mean, that's So I have not seen anything in any of the 5th edition Spelljammer things that actually mention that. I kind of want to maybe look through. Now the Astral Adventurer's Guide here. I don't even know where it would be in the book. Yeah, in the players section, it says astral elves who don't dwell on the astral plane can live to be more than 750 years old, like normal elves. Yeah, the astral adventuring chapter is like talks about spell jamming, air envelopes, air quality, gravity, the astral plane. Creating a wild space system, travel between worlds. The travel between worlds. World-to-world travel requires a spell-jamming ship, a teleport spell, or some kind of magic. Some other kind of magic. Within a wild space system, the DM must decide how long it takes to creature ship that wants to travel from one wild space system to another must cross the astral sea unless it has some other magical means of traveling with one world in the multiverse to another. So a thing about older editions of Spelljammer was that they had it so that you didn't actually go into the astral plane to travel. The astral plane was kind of its own thing. You traveled through rivers of a thing called phlogiston, or the flow, and you kind of like followed it like rivers. It goes from like one planet to another, maybe it goes to multiple. See how long I can actually stream for. So and yeah, that was kind of the primary way of moving through space. Here they do not have that. They probably just want to simplify it. The astral sea not only has gravity, but also breathable, comfortable air. But is the air real, or does this heavenly realm merely trick creatures into thinking they're breathing? In the astral sea, one can never be certain. All that really matters is that a creature can survive indefinitely in the astral sea, never aging and never feeling hunger or thirst. Can travel by thought. One does not need a map to navigate the astral sea. Here, all creatures are blessed with directional awareness. In other words, a creature can get to where it wants to go by thinking of its destination, at which point it becomes aware of the most direct route to that location. Pardon me. The destination must be somewhere in the Astral Sea or in wild space, such as the nearest Githyanki outpost, the astral domain of Hestevar, or realm space, as examples. This directional awareness doesn't reveal how safe the route is, and the DM decides how far away the destination is and how perilous the trek through the Astral Sea is. Temperature, fishing, popular pastime in wild space, and the Astral Sea, though the activity isn't possible aboard a ship that is moving faster than its flying speed. Yeah, you can. There's a fishing minigame. Wild space settlements sell basic fishing equipment. Wow. There is a 1 in 5 chance that you will fish up something that'll try and kill you. But you can still eat. Eesh. Weightlessness. Magic. Magic items, including spelljammers. They're just getting into spelljamming ships. A lot of them. A lot of this book are different kinds of spelljammers. I think more than half of it. Yeah, like pages 26 to 57 are all different spelljammer ships. Cool. Alright, let's get back to the monsters. I'm fishing for inspiration. See what kind of adventures would be cool. Free fishing game on Steam, $27 a DLC. Something tells me that's not a very good game. I would wager. And next up is the Auto Gnome. Find an Auto Gnome picture here, huh? One moment. I do like this one. Hold on. Aurelius and Association. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll see. I will. It's been very out of mind, I guess. But I have not actually had a chance to look at it yet. To really watch it. So these are auto gnomes. Yeah, it's definitely based on D&D and stuff. So yeah, they're like robots, but gnomes. Get in the zone, the auto gnome zone. Zotto gnome. I'm already scratching at my book, bumping into my mic. Auto gnome. An auto gnome is a mechanical gnome that resembles the rock gnome who created it, though it could never be mistaken for a gnome. Regardless of what its insides are made of, it has a metallic outer casing, painted with gnomish features. It walks with a stiff gait, clanking, wheezing, whirring, and buzzing wherever it goes. The music's a bit loud. Okay, hold on. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I don't think I... Yeah, I think I had iTunes up a little loud. Is that better? Or would you like it a little bit quieter? Auto gnomes versus Decepticons. An auto gnome obeys its creator's commands. Fine? Cool. An auto gnome obeys its creator's commands when it is functioning properly, but a design flaw can cause an auto gnome to go rogue, forget its orders, and wander wild space doing anything except what it was designed for. No two auto gnomes are necessarily made of the same materials. Magic is what gives them their intelligence. Most auto gnomes are programmed to obey the following 3 directives. Defend gnomes who are being attacked by non-gnomes. Defend yourself if you are attacked, and protect infants and youngsters from harm. The last directive arose from the best intentions, but it doesn't distinguish between species. If an auto gnome sees a group of adults battling a lunar dragon wormling, for instance, it would come to the wormling's defense. So there's actually a mechanic for malfunctions in these things. Whenever the auto gnome takes 15 damage or more from a single source, it isn't reduced to 0 hit points by the damage. Roll a d20 to determine if it suffers a malfunction. 1 through 10, all fine here. 11 to 12, my mind is going, I could feel it. The auto gnome is incapacitated for 1 minute. 13 to 14, you've disarmed me. One of the auto gnome's arms falls off, reducing the number of shocking bolt attacks it can make by 1 until a creature uses an action to reattach the arm. 15 through 16, who turned off the lights? The auto gnome's head falls off and deactivates, causing the auto gnome to be blinded and deafened until a creature uses an action to reattach the head, which reactivates it. 17 to 20, have a magical day. The auto gnome explodes and is destroyed. Each creature within 20 feet of the exploding auto gnome must make a DC 11 dexterity saving throw, taking 4d10 slashing damage on... Whoa, that's a shrapnel. Damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Yeah. Little eccentric boys, you know. Oh, this next one looks cool. Mm. Hold on. Was it spelled? Where's that? Gotta give them goofy names. Oh, look at this chunker. He's a big man. The Brazet. A Brazet is a towering, warm-blooded carnivore with a thick, articulated shell covering its back. A squarish head topped with horny protrusions, and thick arms ending in large hands with opposable thumbs. The creature walks upright on two legs and speaks in a voice similar to that of a human. Huh. Brazets hunt alone or in pairs, prowling deserts, dry canyons, desolate wastelands, and lonely asteroids in search of prey. Nice song, right? I feel like it's something without lyrics. Yeah, basically a dino guy. Brazets also spew acid, though they tend to do so only as a last resort, since the acid dissolves and ruins the flesh they crave. Wait, are you referencing? Are you saying this looks like Peter Griffin, or is Peter Griffin actually in Fortnite now? Like, not as a mod or whatever. A Brazet projects an invisible psychic barrier around itself that enhances its natural armor. And it can amplify the magical energy to create shields of rippling force that deflect incoming attacks and absorb magic missile spells. Wow. It's been leaked. I don't know how much I trust a leak like that. Yeah, these things are surprisingly intelligent too. It's something that don't really talk about. I feel like there's not that much on this thing. At least not that they give. Oh, sorry. It's considered a giant as well, and I don't mean just because it's big, but like technically a giant as a designation. Psionic Shield. When the Brazet would be hit by an attack roll or a magic missile spell that originates from a source the Brazet can see, the Brazet can create an invisible barrier of magical force around itself that lasts until the start of its next turn. The barrier gives the Brazet a +5 bonus to AC, including against a triggering attack, and prevents magic missile spells from damaging it. No, you would not. Like, this thing, it speaks common and giant. It is more intelligent than your average person. It is immune to acid and psychic. of funny. It sort of resembles a what's the giant monster? The only its only weakness is acid. You know, Godzilla and D&D. I'm forgetting the name. Yeah, I mean, it is not... It does not resist piercing damage. It says 18 AC. I can't believe I'm blanking on this monster. Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, go for its vulnerable beehole. Like the weak spot on a video game boss. Challenge rating 9. Probably would make a good game boss. Video game boss, you know. Oh, okay. Sneak into its beehole and then return back to normal size. Or larger. Tarrasque. It resembles a Tarrasque to me. Which is... The only thing it is either... I forget if it's actually weak to acid or is the only thing that it's not resistant to. Wait. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, next up. I've got an idea for something that could be cool with this thing, but it also might be too powerful for my party at the start. And they're typically neutral evil. Spell strategy. Yeah, suppose so. B apostrophe Brog. Brog. I'm a brog. Alright, here we go. Mend butthole. Butthole deleted. Your poo can't go anywhere. Pay me $50 and I'll fix your beehole. Alright, next up. Frog. This guy is not very smart. Frog. Alright, we got an ad. Let's plow through the ad. Nah, we take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes, and we'll talk about Brog. Frog. Ah, nya, nya, nya. Twist an enemy's ball sack. Yeah, that would probably just be... You'd have to do some... That would just be flavor, at best, for using an actual spell that does, like... some kind of damage? I don't know. But you know what? Yes, you could hypothetically say that every time you use that spell to attack, you could be doing that. But also, you don't have line of sight, so you don't even... What if they don't have balls? That's the trick. Frog. Frogs are broad-shouldered, four-armed giants, 15 feet tall, with burnt orange skin. They have flat noses, pointed ears, and long hair that grows down the backs and sides of their otherwise bald heads. They wear simple garb and like to hurl heavy rocks. They wear a Brog can wield a weapon with each of its four arms, but it prefers to pound enemies with its fists and rip smaller creatures apart with its bare hands. Brogs communicate with each other using grunts and basic hand signals. They have no spoken or written language. They prefer to be left alone, and for that reason don't normally pose a threat to smaller creatures. Because of their size and strength, they are popular attractions in gladiatorial arenas, where they are coerced into fighting for food. Frogs are accustomed to eking out a meager existence in their natural habitat, and they rarely bond with other kinds of creatures. A Brog that benefits from a stranger's act of kindness is at first puzzled by the effort, then wary. If this kindness is sufficient to earn the creature's trust, the Brog will try to repay the stranger, perhaps by carrying their gear or helping them navigate perilous terrain. A solitary Brog that is befriended by a group of adventurers might follow them around for a while, but it will soon tire of their company and once again seek out others of its own kind. Paladin Kenobi. I think a lot about what would be the equivalent. Hey, how's it going, Chris? How I popped in a little bit for your race. How'd it go? Oh, I do know the Lord of Grief. Oh, you lost. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I hope you at least had fun. It's close. All right, all right. Yeah, I'm looking through D&D Spelljammer monsters. So if you don't want to be spoiled potentially, don't look. It's my first time looking at a lot of these as well, despite having had these books for like a year. Wow. Spoiled as to what could be in my campaign. Let's see, maybe what's something that would not be a big spoil? And it's kind of fun to find these things for the first time. Ah, here we go. Here's one that I think you know about already. Oh, I think you already left. So that just sounds like kind of good storytelling. Not so much a spoiler. But let's see. the next thing is... Alright, this is the image. In the manual here, or rather... This guy. It's cute! Cowboy Crusaders. That sounds fun. Flint Westwood. Clint Stevens. This is a Chwinga. Chwingas are tiny elemental spirits that adapt easily to any habitable environment. These gentle creatures protect nature, considering themselves as its humble custodians. Chwingas live inside plants, rocks, and springs far from civilization. Chwingas resemble 6-inch tall animated dolls with mask-like faces, spindly limbs, and wild hair. They don't have names and can't speak. Is this like a Studio Ghibli reference? A valiant steed there. It is. It's a fish. Chwingas normally avoid other creatures, but they find the trappings of civilization fascinating. They puzzle over creatures that wear armor, carry weapons, use tools, and cook food. When a Chwinga encounters one or more such creatures, its curiosity compels it to shadow them for a short time and observe them. If it takes a liking to a particular creature, a Chwinga uses its cantrips to aid that creature or bestows upon it a magical gift before departing. The features that attract a Chwinga to a particular creature vary. A Chwinga might like the way a certain creature walks, or the way it combs its hair, or be smitten by its ability to play music, or to eat copious amounts of food. Yeah, it's cute. It kind of reminds me of Hollow Knight. The little bug dude that you play as. Chwinga astronauts? Chwinga that live in wild space usually dwell on habitable moons and asteroids, though they occasionally stow away on spelljamming ships or ride around on space guppies. Pictured. Using its magical gift ability, a Chwinga astronaut can bestow one of the following charms in place of those described in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Oh wow. Cool. Okay, well I don't need to list those. They're two cool things. Are there other ones that it could give? Okay, there are other charms in the Dungeon Master's Guide. That would be good. Good to look at. Oh god, I love these dudes. Alright. Alright. Next up. I'm gonna skip around a little bit now. Oh, you know, these things are cute. Hold on. I'm gonna show more pictures of the Chwinga. I'll think of things. But yeah, look at these little guys. They're cute. Boo doo doo boo. Yeah, I know. I was just saying that these really do like look like something from a Studio Ghibli movie. Like, look at these. Using a stolen plate and cutlery, 3 Chwingas play house in the snow. Ah, you can snack on them. I don't know if they're actual material beings. Hold on, I didn't even look at its stats or anything. Yeah, challenge rating 0. Not really that surprising. Evasion. When dexterity check. Alright, it always succeeds. Yeah, it's got the ranger, no, the rogue thing where, you know, evasion. As an action, you can use natural shelter. The Chwinga takes shelter inside a rock, a bush, a tree, or a natural source of fresh water in its space. The Chwinga can't be targeted by an attack, spell, or other effect while it is magically protected in this way, and the shelter doesn't impair the Chwinga's blind sight. The Chwinga can use its action to emerge from a shelter. If its shelter is destroyed, the Chwinga is forced out and appears in the shelter's space, but is otherwise unharmed. Use charisma as its spell casting ability. That's interesting. This thing's cool. I like it. I don't know. I don't know the clip. Monster House. No, I don't know. Alright. Next up. Monster I was eating and shit. Okay. You know him. You love him. It's the GIF. The Hippo Men. Powered by British imperialism. GIF. GIF. 2 Fs. GIFF. Yeah, we're gonna hop around. It probably is a Doctor Who villain. It's the average British person. Oof, it's easy to spot a GIF in a room. These burly folk are 7-foot-tall hippopotamus-headed people. In wild space and its associated ports, GIF are most often encountered as spacefaring mercenaries. These troops are renowned for their martial training and love of explosives and are typically armed with gleaming firearms. Every aspect of the spacefaring GIF society is organized along military lines. From birth until death, each has a military rank. Promotions don't depend on time in service, but are granted by superiors as rewards for valor. Muskets and grenades are the specialties of many GIF regiments. The bigger the boom, the brighter the flash. The thicker the smoke it produces, the greater the glory for the one wielding the weapon. Smashing now. Dude, have you not Have you seriously not heard of GIF before, Chris? Dude, these dudes are so cool. You haven't, really? Hmm. The GIF are great. Yeah, man, this is it's so good. Like, look at this dude. Absolute unit. He looks like he's about to impose civilization on otherwise happy people. Trying to draw a straight line through their peoples. Get ready. You're gonna love tea and opium. No, I think actually one of the things about these guys is that they're actually very honorable. Unlike the British. Alright, I'll read the rest of like these variants here. Gift shipmates who make up the bulk of the crew and most gift vessels and disciplined soldiers. Gift shock trooper. A gift shock trooper is trained to mount assaults on enemy strongholds. Each one is adept at softening up the enemy from a distance with firearms before charging into melee to mop up the foes that remain standing. And the gift warlord. Yeah, a high-ranking GIF who takes up the life of an independent mercenary might amass enough power and influence to become a warlord. A GIF warlord usually commands a small fleet of spell-jamming ships and operates out of a heavily defended stronghold. Anyone who shares the warlord's ideology, whatever it might be, is eligible to join the ranks of the warlord's army, which is mainly made up of mages who helm the ship of the fleet and provide magical firepower, sell swords of various species, and guns for hire in the form of gift shock troopers. GIF are great. Oh. Ogre's Spelljammer. Like, it's so cool you can play as a GIF too. Like, they are in... Oh. Nearly dropped the book. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna look up and see what they say about the GIF in Player's Handbook here. Or rather, the Astral Adventurer's Guide, which has a GIF on the cover. GIF. GIF are tall, broad-shouldered folk with hippo-like features. Some have smooth skin, while others have short bristles on their face and the tops of their heads. Here's my dapper head of hair. I get her from mother. As beings of impressive size and unforgettable appearance, GIF are noticed wherever they go. And absorb in the culture of finer arts of the Empire, start reading and potentially making poems. Most GIFs believe they originated on one world, but their home world is now the stuff of legend, because no living GIF has seen it or knows where it is. The divine beings who created GIF have a great sense of humor, have likewise been forgotten. Their titanic petrified bodies drift on the astral sea, isolated and unrecognizable in their current forms. Although they don't realize it, GIF are drawn to the astral plane because of on a deep psychic level. They remain connected to their creator gods, who have just enough divine spark left in them to imbue GIF with sparks of their own, which GIF have used to channel through their weapons. Yeah, it might have been blown up. Most GIF have no idea where this so-called astral spark comes from, but they feel its presence most strongly when they are in wild space or the astral sea. GIF are split into two camps concerning how their name is pronounced. Alright. A great schism. Half of them... Oh. I read it. I read the sentence. Half of them say it with a hard G, half of them a soft G. Disagreements over the correct pronunciation often blossom into hard feelings, loud arguments, and head-butting contests, but they rarely escalate beyond that. Frickin' GIF joke. Son of a... Ah. But yeah, these guys are great. I love them. If anyone wants to change the race, they can always be a GIF. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people agree with that. It's like... Yeah, I don't know. I think the guy that made it calls it a GIF, but it doesn't make sense because it's graphic. It's not a graphic image. Whatever the F stands for. And you get, okay, I'm gonna, like, what other lore do they have on this?